Feast,
Keep going.
fast.
No, wait a minute. I had to go too far. Yeah, no. It is past the fast. It's past the fast.
19-day
19-day
feast.
feast. Yep.
Mashkalak, or maybe the next one.
Okay, the next one. There we go.
Thank you.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I don't know that we're streaming on Facebook yet. Good morning, everyone in Zoom.
Good morning. Hi, Vicky.
Clearly, Jeremiah doesn't do Facebook.
Good morning, friends. Good to see you.
He did it, though. Good job, Jeremiah.
Thank you, Jeremiah. I have awakened in thy shelter, oh my God, and it becometh him that seeketh that shelter to abide within the sanctuary of thy protection and the stronghold of thy defense. Illumine my inner being, oh my Lord, with the splendors of the day spring of thy revelation, even as thou didst illumine my outer being with the morning light of thy favor.
Good job.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning very much. Good morning, everyone in Zoom and everyone out there in Facebook land. And good morning, Daryl. How you? Whoa!
Really, Tony?
This
Clearly,
gentleman here,
it's not
folks.
Darryl.
This is Pete.
Good morning, everyone.
You've never seen Pete's face on camera, but you've seen his hands every once in a while if you've been looking at us through Facebook and you see a hand come out and do something. That's Pete's hands. This is Pete. It's doer.
Doer.
Doer. Because
Correct.
I've heard some people call you doer.
Yes, it's doer.
Yeah, Pete Doer.
Yes.
And Daryl can't be with us today. He's a little under the weather. And so Pete has, I'm going to move this a little bit, has graciously consented to standing in, to sitting in for Daryl. And Pete's not a singer. Well, he is actually in our local choir.
But not a singer.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
make sure that that's clear.
So okay, so what's that again?
I'm a practicing choir member.
Okay, yeah, he's
That's
a
it.
practicing choir member. Okay, we'll leave it at that. And we do hope that Daryl gets better
Yes.
soon. And but frankly, Pete, I've wanted you to be a part of the program for quite some time, and I'm looking for the prayer book that I had. It's over there.
It is. And
Would you like to choose and read a prayer
Sure.
for us to get us started?
let's get
Hi,
started.
Vicky. Hi, Yuta. Hi, Greg.
And
Well,
we're-
Greg's right over there. I just see him in the Zoom. And,
Yeah, Greg is over there.
yeah. And is that Olga?
Olga
I think
is
that's
there,
Olga.
yes.
Because I can't see her from this far off. But good morning, Olga. How are you?
Good morning.
It's good to see you.
Let's say a prayer for Daryl and anyone who's ill.
Sure.
And we're
That's a great way
going
to
to start
start.
with a healing prayer.
Mhm.
Thy name is my healing, O my God, and remembrance of thee is my remedy. Nearness to thee is my hope, and love for thee is my companion. Thy mercy to me is my healing and my succor in both this world and the world to come. Thou verily art the all-bountiful, the all-knowing, the all-wise. Baha'u'llah.
Thank you, Pete. Thank you very
You're
much. And as you know, for quite some time, we have been studying from the book, studying the book Baha'u'llah and the New Era. And I don't even remember which edition this is, but it's, we always point out that if you have an older edition, there might be points where where the content is a little bit different, has a little bit different wording and so forth. I'm not sure that's going to be an issue this morning. Pete is pulling his from Ocean
2.0.
Ocean 2.0. And so I'm going to assume they have the latest edition there.
That's the hope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the hope. Yeah. And last week we just touched onto life into the life after death. And Pete, pop quiz. Where do you think we go when we die?
We go into the earth.
We go into the earth. Hi, Kathy. How are you?
Dust to
Glad you're here.
dust.
Dust to dust. Okay.
Dirt.
Okay. And I'm asking the questions to set up today's content. Okay, because actually what we're going to start reading today, and we touched on it last week, for anyone who was here, we kind of touched just the beginning of it, because in the Baha'i revelation, coming straight from Baha'u'llah and continued through Abdul Baha, there's a lot of insight that we're given as to what happens when this body and the soul are no longer connected. And so we're going to start reading about that today. Would you like to start?
Absolutely.
Sure.
And you said the key component to this when you asked the question, where would we end up? Clearly, this physical body ends up in the dirt, but then the soul progresses.
Yes.
And so I guess we're going to be
Please.
reading about that right now. Life after death. Baha'u'llah tells us that the life in the flesh is but the embryonic stage of our existence.
Oh, whoa. I know you're just starting.
Yes.
That's the first biggie to me. Could you please repeat that? I'll let you continue, but that's just go ahead. I mean, the word embryonic
Yes.
says there's more to come.
Absolutely. Baha'u'llah tells us that the life in the flesh is but the embryonic stage of our existence, and that escape from the body is like a new birth through which the human spirit enters on a fuller, freer life. Should I continue?
I think you need to read the whole thing.
All right. He
I
writes.
just feel it's huge, man. I think that is such an epiphany to me. Go ahead. Okay.
He writes, "Know thou of a truth."
Wait, no. Oh, you said continue. Should I continue?
Yes.
Actually, I wanted you did say continue.
Yes, sir.
But in my mind, I'm thinking repeat.
Okay, you'd like it to be repeated.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
So could you put the Pete in repeat, Pete?
Yes.
So could you please repeat it?
Baha'u'llah tells us that the life in the flesh is but the embryonic stage of our existence, and that escape from the body is like a new birth through which the human spirit enters on a fuller, freer life.
Wow.
Why? Wow.
Because it's just, I don't know, if you've watched enough, let's say, movies or heard enough, or even if you come from, other faiths, so much of what we're told by Baha'u'llah, and I don't want to, spoil alert here, but so much of what we read in other spiritual writings, a lot of it is metaphorical.
Right.
And we,
Yeah.
having a physical and only knowing a physical existence, the only way we could relate is through, physical terms, physical imagery, and so forth. And yet, there's that, overriding idea of death in and of itself. And what we're told here is that, no, there's so much more than that. Okay, that's why I just feel like, wow.
Fuller, freer.
Yes.
Imagine those
fuller,
terms.
freer life.
Shall I continue?
Please do continue. Hi, Pauline.
He writes, "Know thou of a truth that the soul, after its separation from the body, will continue to progress until it attaineth the presence of God, in a state and condition which neither the revolution of ages and centuries, nor the changes and chances of this world can alter. It will endure as long as the kingdom of God, His sovereignty, His dominion and power will endure. It will manifest the signs of God and His attributes, and will reveal His loving kindness and bounty. The movement of my pen is stilled when it attempteth to befittingly describe the loftiness and glory of so exalted a station. The honor with which the hand of mercy will invest the soul is such as no tongue can adequately reveal, nor any other earthly agency describe.
Okay, now I will stop you there.
Yes, sir.
Think about what that is saying. I mean, even, again, Baha'u'llah, manifestation of God, latest messenger. And yet he's saying that, I mean, those phrases, no tongue can adequately reveal, nor any other earthly agency describe. So as many epiphanies are, as there are in what we're reading here and what you'll continue to read, there's still an air of mystery to it.
Sure.
That is withheld from us. You know, and we're told, yeah, you're going to continue. You will continue. You will continue to exist. But as to what that existence will entail, while we are still given some more detail, people read it, it's still, yeah, the words that we have are inadequate to really, really get us to clearly understand what that existence will consist of. And to me, that in and of itself is freeing in a certain way, because it's like, well, I guess it's something I need to stop worrying about.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So
blessed is the soul which, at the hour of its separation from the body, is sanctified from the vain imaginings of the peoples of the world. Such a soul liveth and moveth in accordance with the will of its Creator.
okay, Pete, I'm stopping you again.
Yes, sir.
Vain imaginings.
Mm-hmm.
What is meant by vain imaginings? You know, it's a phrase that frequently comes up in Baha'u'llah's writings. If you could define vain imaginings, am I putting too much on you by asking you to define vain imaginings, or what you may think that's a reference to?
Instinctively, I'm thinking vanity, superficial things of this world, as opposed to what we were supposed to be doing daily as Baha'is, which is to be constantly in a prayerful attitude. So when we are not in that state of mind of being in a prayerful attitude, what are we imagining?
Oh, well, yeah. And we come up with stuff. A lot of times,
Right.
I think we kind of have, there's this sort of a sense of an informational void. You know, things that we apparently haven't developed to the point of knowing,
Right.
or aren't intended to know. And so what do?
Yes.
You make it up.
Yeah.
you know, angels have harps, and and we could go on and on and on with the imagery that has been given to the afterlife. You know, but yeah, Baha'u'llah refers to a lot of those things as just vain imaginings, things that people have come up with on their own.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
And again, we have something counter to the vain imaginings, which is being in a prayerful state of mind.
Absolutely. And that also includes, learning as much as we can from the source.
Right.
From the source. Yes.
Shall I continue?
Yes, please.
Are we picking it up from such a soul?
Sure.
Such
but I tell you what, start from blessed again.
Okay. Blessed is the soul which, at the hour of its separation from the body, is sanctified from the vain imaginings of the peoples of the world. Such a soul liveth and moveth in accordance with the will of its Creator, and entereth the all-highest paradise. The maids of heaven, inmates of the loftiest mansions, will circle around it, and the prophets of God and His chosen ones will seek its companionship. With them, that soul will freely converse, and will recount unto them that which it hath been made to endure in the path of God, the Lord of all worlds.
Now, I got to tell you, even after what we just said about, words can't really describe it. Yeah, we have some kind of descriptive terms here, but there's still, I'm assuming, again, I always like to point out, I am no authority. But if words can't physically describe it, and yet you have what looks like physical description here to me, the all highest paradise. I
Yeah.
don't know what that is.
Right.
Okay, but all highest paradise. Maids of heaven, in capitals, inmates of the loftiest mansions. See, with my own limited imagination, when I think loftiest mansions, I think mansions. I think huge homes, opulence, surrounded by physical beauty, and yet this is not a physical existence.
Correct, right.
So again, that's the only way we can relate to it, and yet it still does not truly apply. And yet, Baha'u'llah has pointed out in other writings that this is my really bad paraphrasing, that we want to be careful of being, I'll say, trapped in the kingdom of names, where words can make you come up with your own vain imaginings.
Vain imaginings, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Say that again? Oh, thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, the inmates of the loftiest mansions circling around it. Prophets of God and his chosen ones seek its companionship. But this, again, is all supposed to be spiritual, not physical. And I don't know about you, but I don't have a vantage point.
Yeah.
I have no vantage
None of us
point
do.
for this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
None of us do at this time.
Yes.
If any man be told that which hath been ordained for such a soul in the worlds of God, the Lord of the throne on high and of earth below, his whole being will instantly blaze out in his great longing to attain that most exalted, that sanctified and resplendent station. The nature of the soul after death can never be described, nor is it meet and permissible to reveal its whole character to the eyes of men.
Don't stop. I mean, no, do stop. Stop.
Pause.
Yes. Because, and folks, I know, I mean, Daryl would probably ignore me by this point, but it's just to me that there is so much here. I mean, this is where he's telling us. You couldn't understand it anyway. If any man be told that which hath been ordained for such a soul in the worlds of God, the Lord of the throne on high and of earth below, his whole being will instantly blaze out in his great longing to attain that most exalted, that sanctified and resplendent station. In other words, I'm thinking of the quote from Jesus, I have more to tell you, but you cannot bear it now.
Right?
Yeah, you can't bear it. You can't handle it. So yeah, we're going to do you the favor,
Right?
of not sharing that with you. And then he goes on to say, as you read, what is that sanctified and resplendent station? The nature of the soul after death
can never be described.
Nor is it meet and permissible, meet being appropriate, nor is it meet and permissible to reveal his whole character to the eyes of men. So you're not supposed to know that now.
Right.
Again, I look at that as being very freeing. It's like you're looking for something that in this life you're not going to get. So, spend your energies and your time doing something that, that you can actually come to some sense of fruition.
We have limited capacity at this point.
Exactly, and that's the reason. Yes.
All right. The nature of the soul after death can never be described, nor is it meet and permissible to reveal its whole character to the eyes of men. The prophets and messengers of God have been sent down for the sole purpose underlying their revelation hath been to educate all men, that they may, at the hour of death, ascend in the utmost purity and sanctity, and with absolute detachment to the throne of the Most High.
There you have it. I mean,
So what do you think that means?
I just think that, hey, I mean, we're always talking about, in Baha'i circles, we're always talking about progressive revelation,
Right.
progressive
Hmm.
revelation,
Hmm.
progressive revelation. Okay, first of all, what that says, what that means is that God continues to communicate and guide mankind through his messengers. And this is saying, why? Why does God, the how and the why, the prophets and messengers of God have been sent down for the sole purpose underlying their, have been sent down. Wait a minute. The prophets and messengers of God have been sent down for the sole purpose underlying their revelation, have been to educate all men. That's why prophets come. That's why the manifestations of God come, to educate all men. Why do we need that education? Well, it also says that they may, at the hour of death, ascend. That's that point where your soul is separating from your body,
Hmm.
ascend in the utmost purity and sanctity, and with absolute detachment to the throne of the Most High. They've been sent to help us prepare for that next level of existence.
We do know what the prophets and messengers are to provide us, but what is our responsibility so that we can reach that stage of purity and sanctity?
Follow the guidance, follow their guidance, obey, be obedient, and apply those teachings in this life to the extent that we can. I don't know, was that the answer you were looking for?
Well, no, I was thinking too, though, if you're saying obey and apply the teachings, whose teachings? Because what's interesting is the prophets and messengers have been sent down.
Yeah.
Which one?
Now, see, Pete, I mean, I have a response.
Yes, go.
First of all, to some extent, all of them,
True.
because they all there is a certain unity in all of
Absolutely.
in the teachings of the messengers of God. But
Hmm.
as you and I both know, Baha'u'llah tells us that there are certain, say, spiritual laws that are eternal.
Correct.
No matter what revelation you're looking at, no matter what prophet or messenger you are following, there are certain laws that are going to be the same. But because of progressive revelation and
I
because of
like
the
it.
passing of the ages and the changes and chances that mankind goes through, there are certain laws that are called social laws.
Hmm.
And they change from age to age, from messenger to messenger.
Right.
And those social laws apply to the, let's say, to the people and to whom that word is revealed. And we are supposed to be teaching this up until the coming of a new messenger, and that's
Hmm.
usually a
Hmm.
period of no less than 1,000 to sometimes even
Right.
longer than
Hmm.
that,
Hmm.
1,000 years or and more. But again, we are supposed to be trying to follow that guidance and also teach that guidance. I don't know. My response has gotten so verbose. I don't know. Am I just talking in
Well,
circles?
I was hoping that it would lead, because you mentioned progressive revelation,
Hmm.
so I was hoping it would lead to the messenger for this day and age.
Oh, okay.
Yeah? And who's that?
I don't know. You tell me, Pete. The messenger for this day and age is Baha'u'llah. That's why we get up here and do this
Absolutely.
and not just, I say, every Sunday morning, every day, to the extent that we can in one way or another. We are supposed to be teaching the faith. And I think, again, I'm trying not to veer off the topic here, but yes,
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
was just having this talk with someone earlier. This doesn't negate the previous revelations. And I think that's where a
They're
lot of
right.
people, I can remember when I had trouble, when I struggled with that. It doesn't negate them, it fulfills and continues them, and each messenger of God does have the power and the right to abrogate certain laws,
Absolutely. Yeah. Hmm.
certain social laws, but also to continue and validate that which has been revealed by previous messengers and previous revelations. A lot of these things that Baha'u'llah is teaching regarding, the life after death, these are things that up until this time had not been clarified. Had they
Correct.
been
Right.
touched upon?
Yes.
Yes, but
Hmm.
not
Hmm.
clarified
Hmm.
to this extent. And so, yeah, there's a reason. I know people, we become often emotionally connected to
Yeah.
whatever was your path to a belief in God.
Right.
But as we've often been, as Abdul Baha says, we should fall in love not with the lamp,
Mm.
but with the light,
Thank you.
not with the lamp, because there's going to be different lamps.
Correct.
And yet there is that light that they all radiate, and that light is the light of God.
Well said.
Well, I'd like to take credit, but but I can't. Please continue.
All right. The light which these souls radiate is responsible for the progress of the world and the advancement of its peoples. Would you like me to stop there?
Folks, I know we're still on the first paragraph, but this is all coming from Baha'u'llah.
From Baha'u'llah.
Think about progress. Just think about progress. What has driven progress? And not that all progress is good, let's face that. But it says, the light which these souls radiate, these people that follow the teachings of God.
That's right.
There is a spiritual energy that is released each time a manifestation of God comes to man.
Yep.
And it
Spiritual
said-
force.
Yes, yes, a spiritual force. And it says those people that follow it, the light that these souls radiate is responsible for the progress of the world and the advancement of its peoples. Now, that's not to say that it's not a hard, it's not a difficult task.
Right.
But that is what drives the progress of mankind and the advancement of mankind. We are told that, Baha'u'llah tells us, you have been created to, oh boy, now I'm having a senior moment here. What is this about the advancement, to contribute to an ever-advancing civilization? I know that's not the exact wording, but yes, to contribute to an ever-advancing civilization. And this is how we do it. This is how it's done. The light that these souls, which these souls radiate, is responsible for the progress of the world and the advancement of these people, of its peoples.
They're like unto leaven, which leaveneth the world of being, and constitute the animating force through which the arts and wonders of the world are made manifest.
I won't touch on that because I think that's pretty obvious. I mean, no, it's not obvious. The wording is so clear.
Sure.
But I think it's a surprise to a lot of people. I remember it was a surprise to me. So when, I think of the Renaissance, and I think of, we have a time period we can call the Renaissance. There have been periods in other cultures and so forth where there were these explosions of creativity and progress and so forth. And what it's telling us is, the animating force through which the arts and wonders of the world are made manifest is coming from that energy from those people that follow the word of God.
So we're like yeast.
Yeah. I don't know if that, I don't know. I guess. Okay. You want to call me yeast? Call me yeast. Okay. Please continue. Okay.
Well, yeast leavens bread, I think.
Yes.
Right?
Okay. Yes. That's what leaven is. It's
Yeah,
yeast,
right.
Yeah.
Through them, through us, the clouds rain their bounty upon men, and the earth bringeth forth its fruits.
Yes.
All things must needs have a cause, a motive power, and animating principle. These souls and symbols of detachment have provided and will continue to provide the supreme moving impulse in the world of being.
Before you go to that next sentence, which is huge too, please read that again. I'm not going to try and expound on anything, but all things.
All things must needs have a cause, a motive power, an animating principle. These souls and symbols of detachment have provided and will continue to provide the supreme moving impulse in the world of being.
Continue, please.
The world beyond is as different from this world as this world is different from that of the child while still in the womb of its mother. That's how different it is. You remember back in the day when you were in the womb?
Yeah, I do. As a matter
right.
of fact, I remember the last day. There was this bright light, and somebody, for some reason, slapped the heck out of me. No, of course not. But isn't that
That was the point of the question.
Yeah, exactly. I know. Isn't that a wonderful metaphor, though? It's such a wonderful. It's a physical way of saying, "Oh, it is that different."
Right. That incomprehensible.
Yes. The world beyond is as different from this world as this world is different from that of the child while still in the womb of its mother.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I think, right now we're going to go ahead and stop there for a
Yes,
moment.
sir.
And I feel a little strange doing a song right now. Pete, feel free to sing along.
I'll just.
Before I sing this, I think I'd like to point out that a title that is often given as a reference to Baha'u'llah he was often referred to as the Blessed Beauty. And this song is called Blessed Beauty. Blessed beauty, be my guiding light. Blessed beauty, show the way. Blessed beauty, be my protector. Help me grow in love for you day by day. Blessed beauty, be my teacher. Blessed beauty, night and day. Blessed beauty, be my sustainer. I'll forever follow you day by day. In the good times and the hard times, you've been right there, waiting to guide me. And forever I would falter or stray, but you stood waiting beside me. So blessed beauty, be my guiding light. Blessed beauty, show the way. Blessed beauty, be my protector. Help me grow in love for you day by day. I'll forever follow you, come what may. I did.
I know.
Well, thank you, Pete. I'll have to speak to Daryl. Daryl never applauds me. Maybe he's too busy playing along.
Yes,
There
he
you go.
he is right there in lockstep.
Yes. I tell you, I have had so many people who, who have seen our program, and they always ask, "What is that instrument that he plays?"
Yes.
And recently have had several people, the song we did last week, he
Hmm.
did some prominent singing on, and I've had several people say, "You need to let him do more."
Oh wow, yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. And it's not like I don't know that. I know, but
Hmm. Hmm.
he kind of likes to do what he does, and so, yeah. Anyway, we'll go ahead and continue.
Okay. The world beyond is as different from this world as this world is different from that of the child while still in the womb of its mother.
Hmm.
And of course, that was taken from gleanings from the
Yes.
writings of Baha'u'llah.
Hmm.
Similarly, Abdul Baha writes, the mysteries of which man is heedless in the earthly world, those will he discover in the heavenly world.
You want answers? That's when you're going to get them.
Hmm.
Yes.
And there will he be informed of the secrets of the truth. How much more will he recognize or discover persons with whom he has been associated? Undoubtedly, the holy souls will find a pure eye and are favored with insight, will, in the kingdoms of light, be acquainted with all mysteries and seek the bounty of witnessing the reality of every great soul. They will even they will even manifestly behold the beauty of God in that world. Likewise, will they find all the friends of God, both those of the former and recent times, present in the heavenly assemblage.
Now that's a lot. Again, here it's Abdul Baha. Before we were reading from Baha'u'llah, and this is Abdul Baha, who's again, they're not, he's not giving us again a clear physical description, but
Right.
he's talking about the relationships. I mean, you think about that, and the answers again that we will finally get when the soul leaves the body. The mysteries of which man is heedless, and I don't want to read the whole thing that you just read, but those things we don't know about in this world, you'll finally discover in the heavenly world. The mysteries of which man is heedless in the earthly world, those we'll discover in the heavenly world. And there will he be informed of the secrets of truth. Again, you want answers, that's where we're going to get them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's interesting that he says, we will recognize or discover persons with whom we have been associated. It says, how much more will he recognize or discover persons with whom he has been associated with whom he has been associated. The holy souls who find a pure eye and are favored with insight will, in the kingdom of lights, be acquainted with all mysteries and will seek the bounty of witnessing the reality of every great soul. I just feel like, okay, there's still some conditions there.
Right.
It's still based on, on a variety of things we could spend the rest of the year talking about. But again, it's still giving us a little glimpse of what to expect, again, when the soul leaves the body.
Why do you think it's important to mention that we will recognize and discover persons with whom we were associated?
Oh boy, I can think of some good and not so good, good reasons for that. But I mean, again, this is very much conditional, and it's based on again that the condition of the soul when it leaves the body. But imagine those people that you have, shared friendships, relationships, family, and so forth. Yeah, it's saying you will recognize those people, and. But again, in a non-physical way.
Right.
We need to keep coming back to that. In a non-physical way. Okay. I don't know. Was there more you wanted to say
No,
about that? Okay.
it's just like as you're mentioning, it's not much he has provided, but it's enough insight
Yeah.
that this is important that he mentioned it
And notice he even called that in the kingdom of lights.
in the kingdom of lights.
In
Yes.
the kingdom of lights, yes.
The difference and distinction between men will naturally become realized after their departure from this mortal world. But this distinction is not in respect to place, but in respect to soul, but in respect to the soul and the conscience. For the kingdom of God is sanctified or free from time and place. It is another world and another universe. And know thou for a certainty that in the divine worlds the spiritual beloved ones will recognize one another and will seek union with each other, but a spiritual union.
Yeah.
Likewise, a love that may have entertained for anyone.
Wait a minute, you skipped an
Likewise,
important
a
word there.
love that one may have entertained for anyone will not be forgotten in the world of the kingdom, nor wilt thou forget there the life that thou hast in the material world.
That is both comforting and frightening.
Yes.
It is
More
both
frightening than comforting.
Yeah. I mean, imagine there will be plenty of reasons to have regrets for things that we have, perpetrated in this world, but also, hopefully, depending on, again, the condition of the soul, reasons to have much joy as well.
Right. Yes, absolutely.
But again, it's important to point out that, we will still recognize those souls. And yet, it says that, okay, the difference and distinction between men will naturally become realized
Yes.
after their departure from this mortal world. And I like that word distinction, the difference and distinction. You'll still be an individual. Will naturally become realized after their departures from this mortal world. But this distinction is not in respect to place, but in respect to the soul and the conscience. I mean, imagine an existence that, as stated here, is sanctified or free from time and place. It's, I know I can't.
Do you think it'll be like another dimension? So let's say
That's the only way I can figure it. I don't know, but yeah.
this is like let's say the world of existence is a 3D dimensional world.
Yeah.
Would that be fourth, fifth kind of dimension?
Pete, I didn't do well in math or science. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But that's the only thing I can say is maybe. I guess we'll have to wait to find out. I mean, like this whole thing says, you're not meant to know those
Correct.
things.
Unfortunately for us, we have a limited
Exactly.
capacity.
But we are told, at least, try and live your life following the guidance of the manifestation of God in your day so that you can develop the soul, so that you can, to the extent that you have the power, sanctify your soul, and at the time of death, hopefully, be prepared for that level of existence, because you're going to continue to exist one way or another.
Yes, the soul will. Absolutely.
We're going to stop there for next week. For anyone who's wondering, the next section is heaven and hell. Heaven and hell. Yeah. So we have some insights about the soul after death, life after death. Next week we're going to be looking at heaven and hell, and it proves to be very interesting.
In the meantime, we stay away from those vain imaginings.
Yes, thank you for pointing that out. Stay away from those vain imaginings, because there's been a whole lot of work on that. Yes. Pete, I want to say personally, thank you so much for for helping us out today. I know we're not finished, but I just want to say that right now.
This was a pleasure. This was an absolute pleasure.
I hope that you'll be willing to do it again in the future. Because frankly, and I'll say this, I really think it would be nice if we could, have different people and so forth and so on. And because it's not just me and Daryl, folks. It's not just me and Daryl. But at this time, anyone who would like to, this is that time where we always like anyone who would like to share a prayer or reading or even a song of your choosing. This is that time. And so anyone who would like to, please feel free to do so.
Sure, I'd like to share a prayer.
Please do,
Okay,
Terry.
right. Lauded be thy name, O my God, the God of all things, my glory and the glory of all things, my desire and the desire of all things, my strength and the strength of all things, my King and the King of all things, my possessor and the possessor of all things, my aim and the aim of all things, my mover and the mover of all things. Suffer me not, I implore thee, to be kept back from the ocean of thy tender mercies, nor to be far removed from the shores of nearness to thee. Else accept thee, O my Lord, profiteth me not. Near access to anyone save thyself availeth me nothing. I entreat thee by the plenteousness of thy riches, whereby thou didst dispense with all else except thyself, to number me with such as have set their faces towards thee and arisen to serve thee. Forgive then, O my Lord, thy servants and thy handmaidens. Thou truly art the ever forgiving, the most compassionate.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to share at this time? Anyone?
Oh my God, unite the hearts of thy servants and reveal to them thy great purpose. May they follow thy commandments and abide in thy law. Help them, O God, in their endeavors, and grant them strength to serve thee. O God, leave them not to themselves. Oh no, but guide their steps by the light of thy knowledge, and cheer their hearts, and cheer their hearts, and cheer their hearts with thy love. Verily, thou art their helper and their Lord.
Thank you, Vicki. Thank you so much. Is there anyone else who would like to share? Well, then, as always, we're running out of time here, but this is that time that, as always, we like to point out, and pardon me for getting my drum machine here ready. I was just notice how time was ticking. Um, we always like to point out that this is not just a couple of folks that decided to teach this faith. There are Baha'is all over the world doing the same thing, doing so sometimes in the way they live their lives, hopefully all the time in the way they live their lives, but also, there are people, different devotions. You may indeed have Baha'is in your hometown that you don't know about that have regular devotions in their home, or maybe there's a Baha'i center there. We always invite people to seek them out. There are ways that you can find those Baha'is in your area. And maybe we don't have time now, but maybe in the future we need to point out how they can find Baha'is in their area. But this is a community, a joint community effort, and yeah, so we've got folks that you don't see, just like today is the first time you saw Pete. There are there are other people that are also working to help with this program and also to help teach the faith in other ways. And if you're interested in learning more about the Baha'i Faith, there are some definitive websites. And I'll say again, maybe people in your neighborhood that or in your area that you can talk to about it. But some of those websites are, I have to look. Pete, it's always your hand they see. So could you do me a favor and take that a little bit closer? And I can't remember what they are without looking at it. So yes, www.baha'i.org, baha'i.us, clearwaterbaha'is.org, and baha'iteachings.org. And we always like to include uh, Ocean, oceanlibrary.com, right? Oceanlibrary.com. And I'll say it again. I always forget when we leave here, I got to make a bigger sign. Okay, I got to make a bigger sign. And as Daryl, I don't know, Pete, maybe you have a couple of things you might like to say before we go. Anything at all?
Well, again, it was a pleasure, and thank you for allowing me the opportunity. It was a little bit short for me.
A little short?
Yes. No.
Well, we only have so much
I know.
time. I know. But as Daryl would say, whatever you do, wherever you go, while you're out there, just make sure that you share the love. Like you said, it doesn't cost anything.
Yes.
Doesn't cost anything. Make sure you share the love. There are enough people out there not doing that. The more of us that do what we can to share love with others, hopefully we can counteract some of the negativity that's out there. I'm sure someone out there remembers the person who said this. I'm a rough paraphrase, but there was someone who said the only thing that it takes for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing.
Nothing.
So, or for good people to do nothing. Let's do as much good as we can.
Yes. I echo that.
Yes. O people of justice, be as brilliant as the light, and as splendid as the fire that blazed in the burning bush. The brightness of the fire of your love will no doubt fuse and unify the contending peoples and kindreds of the earth. Whilst the fierceness of the flame of enmity and hatred cannot but result in strife and ruin, we beseech God that he may shield his creatures from the evil designs of his enemies. He verily hath power over all things. Let your vision be world embracing. Let your vision be world embracing. Let your vision be world embracing. Oh, watch over yourselves, for the evil one is lying in wait, ready to entrap you. Gird yourselves against his wicked devices, and led by the light of the name of the all-seeing God, make your escape from the darkness that surroundeth you. Let your vision be world embracing, rather than confined to your own self. These are the words of Baha'u'llah. Be world embracing. Have a good week, folks. Have a very good week. We're going to continue this discussion right now. Because we've got Nevada here and we've got Kathy here, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stop the Facebook camera.
I wish I
But
was there with you all.
mm, what was that again, Vicki?
I said, I wish I was there with you all.
I wish you were too. I do. I wish you could come here on Sunday morning and do some singing for us.
Well, I'd love
And
to.
and
Same here. I wish I could be there myself.
you too, Terry.
All
Yeah.
I
right.
know you. Where are you from again, Terry? We're talking to the folks in Zoom,
Alabama.
people in Facebook.
Okay. Right now I'm in Montgomery, Alabama.
You're in Montgomery, Alabama. Terry gets around. Right now, he's in Montgomery, Alabama. Wow.
All right.
And there's Olga. Is Olga still with us? Right? Yes, she's still
Yes.
here. Yes. And
August from
From Mother Russia.
what was that again?
She's from Mother Russia.
Yeah, from Russia. So we've had some people from time to time. I'm trying to see how we're all hooked up in here because I don't know what's going on here. There we go. That's better. Okay. But I'm going to go ahead and